Guys, I made my first successful loaf of sourdough and it was quite the journey, so let's rewind a little. I actually first started trying to make sourdough in January with a dehydrated starter and I kept running into issues. A friend of mine was so kind to give me some of her starter that she actually uses to run a micro bakery, which is so cool. It sat in the fridge for a few months after failing on a few loaves and I was finally ready to try again. Everyone says sourdough isn't hard, which I agree, but there are so many factors that affect the starter and the dough. If you are a beginner baker like I am, then that is what I find tough about it. After a lot of failed attempts, I realized that the temperature in my house was a big issue. My house is pretty cold, so putting my starter and my dough in the oven with the light on helped me out so much. I also am using the aliquot method, which helps you better see visually when your dough is done bulk fermenting. Thinking I had gotten the fermentation process down, I started shaping my dough and I was on the verge of tears because it was just unmanageable, which meant I had done something wrong again. I ended up overproofing it in the oven because I didn't realize bulk fermentation starts when you mix the dough and not after stretch and fold. So I woke up the next morning to try again and I said, you know what? Instead of making one loaf, I'm making two with inclusion. So I got started on that process and instead of letting the dough bulk for 12 hours, which is what I was doing, the correct timing was actually around 6 hours. And when I took it out to shape, I was still a little worried the dough may have been over fermented again. But guys, they came out absolutely beautiful. I felt so accomplished and almost giddy thinking about how I finally was able to do it. This was such a breakthrough for me. I cannot believe that I have been trying to do this for almost a year and I finally succeeded. There really is no better feeling and I'm just so proud of myself. So let this be your sign with anything to not give up and keep going.